I never knew about IIT until I was in 9th standard or so. So it's never that I wanted to become an engineer or it's computational quantum mechanics calculations using parallel computing. Is this better than the previous one?
No, sir. It is. You have to explain it, sir.
I'm very glad that you asked this question. I thought everybody was doing that. Apparently not everybody.
Everyone does.
Being curious and open is good and also a bad thing. They don't know why we are sitting here. Why are you making me go through this? So that's the same analogy as you go and sit in a different theater, some movie suddenly came. You are expecting some Bahubali or something, but something nasty came. But if that movie is funny enough, I landed in Sydney, we lost $40,000.
Hello everyone, I'm Koveri Pooja, a civil engineering final year undergraduate student here at IIT Madras. And we are here for the first episode of our podcast, Know Your Professor. And joining me is Dr. Phanisri Pradeep Pratapa, an assistant professor in the Department of Structural Engineering at IIT Madras. It gives me great pleasure to talk with our guest for today, and thank you, sir, for joining us.
Thank you very much.
How do you feel about doing this interview with us, sir?
Yeah, I'm very excited. Especially we have planned so much for this Know Your Professor in a very professional setting. So I'm very excited about it. I look forward to making it as interesting and as informative as possible for our students.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. So let's start with the basic questions. So we've seen your LinkedIn, we've seen you on the college website. We know about your career path, but the thing we don't know is where are you from? Like where are your origins from?
So I am from Andhra Pradesh. I'm from Vijayawada.
Okay.
So I was born in Machilipatnam actually, Krishna district.
Okay, sir.
I was there very few months after I was born. So I did my schooling, everything until JEE in Vijayawada. Then after JEE, I was at IIT Madras, did my BTech and not been back in Andhra to stay forever until then.
We have like a very big Telugu population here in the campus. How do you feel about it?
It's always been like that. During my BTech time, it was like inside IIT is basically Andhra. 80% population was Andhra. So in fact, that was one of the reasons why my parents agreed me. My mother was very insistent that I have to go to Madras or I'm not going to IIT.
It was 80% back then. Right now, I think it's around 40.
At least the notion.
Okay.
I never did a census study and all that. But I would say it's pretty high.
Do you feel comfortable talking in Telugu in the campus anywhere, sir?
Yeah, I would prefer to speak in Telugu. Everywhere if possible. But since I don't know who knows Telugu, who doesn't know Telugu, I generally go by English. That way, I'm not making anyone uncomfortable. Right.
At this point, you can't really have any private conversation in the campus, sir. It's like you speak in Telugu, there's at least one Telugu person walking by next to you. Okay, and now moving on to your BTech, sir, like what made you choose civil and especially IIT Madras? Like I know the craze for IIT during this period, like there are like lakhs and crores of students trying for it on a daily basis, but was it the same back then as well?
Yeah, it was same. In fact, probably even more. I don't know how it is now. But during my time, obviously the craze was very high. In fact, I don't want to boast about what I had before and all. Like there was some exam called MSET in our state.
Yes, sir.
Still there. Yeah. So I had a top 50 rank in that exam. So I could have gone to the top university in the state.
Okay.
But then when I spoke to a lot of my mentors at that time and the professors, they said even with a higher rank in IIT is a go-to thing.
Better.
So you can imagine the craze at that time. This will give you a sense of how this one. So of course, based on the rank, I chose civil. I was more interested in mechanical sort of stuff, but I was not getting mechanical here. Aero also was a possibility, but the next closest to that I felt was civil to me, right? Then naturally now I am in a structural engineering background, so.
From not really wanting to choose civil as your first option to becoming a professor in that stream.
So things happen in life, right? In fact, I would say I never knew about IIT until I was in 9th standard or so.
Okay.
Right. So it's never that I wanted to become an engineer or it's not like my childhood dream and all that, right? So as things came by in my life, I found out what they were and what I am capable of, and pursued the paths where I think I could contribute more and I would have the maximum impact. Right?
What did you feel about your decision, sir, about taking civil?
Yeah, so as far as I see, there were points probably at some points in my last 10 years, 15 years or so, where I thought, okay, maybe instead of civil, if I went into some other branch, I would have had that opportunity, which one of my friends or colleagues had, and I didn't have, right? This is something normal, I would feel. And philosophically speaking, I am a person who believes that I will never say I do not have regrets.
Okay.
So this is quite unconventional, because most of the time when I spoke to people, people say lead a life without regrets. Right? I believe that at every step I take there is a regret.
Okay.
I'm just choosing between regrets is how I look at
which
life.
affects you less, and
Yes,
then you go
exactly.
there. Okay.
So there's always a regret anyway. So I just chose the thing that will give me the least regret.
And how was your college life, sir? Like, was it on a similar
Yeah, so
basis as
BTech
to we
life
have?
was quite interesting.
Okay.
Of course, until BTech, I think all of us know we mostly studying.
Studying.
And of course, but the interesting thing is, during my school days, although I was very good in academics, I was also participating in a lot of drama or something or the other. Extracurriculars were very good. But then only during the JEE period is where you are like, you don't have anything else, you're just studying.
Yes, sir.
Right?
All your hobbies are just set aside.
Everything is out. But once you're in IIT again, you realize within a few months that you have a lot of time to explore everything, everything. Yes, in fact, one of the key advices I got both from faculty as well as my seniors when I joined IIT is explore every single opportunity at IIT.
Okay.
Right? Because you will not get these opportunities anywhere else. And I truly believed and also understood that, because when I was looking at Shastra, Sarang, or even hostel level events, CEA within the department, and the lectures that are offered from industry faculties and the courses that we had, if you look at the spectrum of these, you will not get all of them in one place anywhere else.
Yes, sir.
In India, you get at other IITs, right? So that should be an eye opener for somebody who joins IIT. This should be an eye opener. You will not have this kind of opportunity later in your life. So make the best of it in the few years. So first year when I was here, I explored every single thing. I was volunteer for wherever I could go. Okay. In hostel events, CEA, Shastra, everything. Right. So of course academics also was there. I was trying to balance that with this. Then slowly by the end of second year, I realized, okay, I'm good in academics. I like these things and so on. So that's how I figured out the things. But the overall theme was that BTech IIT experience was quite broad for me. It was not just academics. It was very well rounded, in my opinion. And I also got a sense of how different people perceive things. Right? Because my friends, I mean, of course, every batch we have 60 students, let's say. I think in one way, remaining 59 students think in a different way. So I understood how each of them were thinking. All of them were smart people from their backgrounds, right? So that gave me a good perspective on what to expect in real life.
And are there any core memories associated with your BTech life? Like,
of course, there will be a lot of
anything
memories,
you can reveal here.
Yeah, of course. I mean, there are a lot of core memories from
fun
BTech
stuff,
life.
Sir. Not the regular time into the classes.
Yeah, fun stuff means depends on what is fun. Okay.
We had a couple of seniors who suggested that we could climb on the tank of 1947. I don't think that is doable. That level, sir.
No, okay. Maybe I never did crazy stuff in the sense of popular opinion.
Okay.
So I never drank or smoked or anything like that.
Yes, sir.
But I never thought that was fun. So that's just my thing. But of course, my wife also was from here.
Okay.
So I met her in my final year. Okay. So in my opinion, that was already the craziest thing I could do in my BTech.
Agreed,
right?
Sir.
So she was my junior and I met her. Then we got married later on when we went for a PhD and all. Okay. So that's the craziest I think. That is the craziest.
And like, how do you feel about the campus changing over the years? Like, I think many new stuff has come up, and then like most of our hostels are getting demolished. Like, I was in Sario in my first year. Yeah. Seeing that demolished itself, I feel very sad about it. So how do you feel about the change?
Yeah, so in fact, when I joined IIT, the first day when you are going into the campus, you feel that sudden cool breeze that comes into the campus, and you realize you are in a different world. Right? So that's a very refreshing feeling, and I had that feeling every time you go back home for holidays, and then when you return, you get that feel. There's a nice smell, weather change, and the cool breeze that gives you. In fact, the hostel became my home. Right? You feel very comfortable when you are coming back. That I don't feel now, probably because of two reasons. One is, now I am not going to the hostel. I am staying in the faculty block, and I don't stay on campus also. The other thing is probably it's a bit more crowded and there's more stuff going on. But that also is a relative thing. Speaking, at my time, the number of students and other things could be much higher than what they were 20 to 30 years back. So it's still a relative thing. So maybe the previous generations would also have the same feeling, right?
Okay.
So campus, whether it is better or worse, these are all subjective points. But what I can say is there are better buildings, larger buildings, modern technology has been implemented, and we are growing as a community. Our contributions have grown, right? number of students have increased, the kind of opportunities we are tapping in are also increasing and diversifying. So everything is in a progressive sense, if you ask me, in that.
I think there's been a recent study as well. Like it shows that the road between IIT Madras and Anna University is like comparatively 2 to 3 degrees colder than regular Chennai temperature. So that was like, oh wow. And then during your BTech life again, did you have any particular connection with any other professors who are currently still there in the campus?
Yeah. So of course, I mean, all of us do projects with teachers,
Yes,
and
sir.
we like some of their courses and so on, right? So as far as I recall, so most professors that taught me had some sort of impact on what I was going to become in the future, right? I have been very fortunate to have very good teachers like Professor Devdas Menon in structural engineering, Professor Meher Prasad, Professor B.S. Murthy in hydraulics, right? And Professor Matthews, and so there are many of them. I don't want to miss any names. I don't want to miss any names here in that sense. So just a few names I have given, right? Professor Kalyan Raman also from structure. So these guys were the people, I would say, like the core reason why I became a civil engineer, and the way I think what defines civil engineering in my mind and how I operate as a civil engineer came from what I learned from these guys. And that's still there with me. It was learned in my BTech, and that just came with me throughout the thing after BTech and even till date. And I think it's going to stay with me for the rest of my life also. So you can see how deep of an impact the professors had on me in the way I operate. So I am an entity in this institution, in this system, trying to contribute something, and that professors had this level of deep impact. So I believe, as faculty, we have very high responsibility in that sense. Yeah.
That's actually very interesting, sir, because like right now where we are, I feel we are very reluctant to maybe go approach a professor for a project or maybe a course or anything for that matter.
Right.
And was it similar to you back then, or were you more like I don't know?
No,
a bit
I'm
more
very glad that you asked this question. So actually, my faculty advisor was Professor Murali Krishnan, J. Murali Krishnan in transportation. He's a very, I mean, I loved going to him. So every semester, at the end of the semester and at the beginning of the semester, I made it a point to always go and tell him, so this is what happened, this is what I'm planning to do, any suggestions. I even did a summer project with him, right? So I was very excited. And I thought everybody was doing that. Apparently not everyone does it. So I was living in a bubble. Later I realized, okay, so not everybody is doing it. So now when people don't come to me, I'm not that surprised. I still feel maybe at that time more people were going and talking to the faculty, because for example, for course registration we had this setup in the DCF where we have to go to the faculty and talk to them and all that. Now we are trying to bring it back, but I guess it's also probably because we have more students than faculty. The interaction has reduced. Like you said, people approaching for projects, there are still people that are coming and discussing about projects, but very less. I feel it's much lesser than before, right? If you go into the reasons for that, I think there are multifold. That's a separate discussion in itself.
How do you think it can be changed, sir?
The way I'll put that question is, should I change it, or should we change it first of all?
Should we change it, sir?
Yeah. So first thing I do whenever I see something that doesn't stick with what I think should be done is I'll try to rationalize why it is like that. So for example, we were talking about the camera setting here, the lighting. Should it be done? Right? We are not shooting Oscar like here, so yes, it's fine. You just go with it, right? So what are you expecting from this, and is it worth changing? Is it really required to be changed? So in that sense, look at the students that are coming in. They joined the program. They are expecting certain things from the program, and the program is also expecting certain things from them. So for any of them to approach a professor, to learn something from the professor, to do a project, firstly they should see what that professor is doing. Is that person doing something relevant to what they are aiming in their life? If it is not, why am I wasting time with that professor? Okay. That would be my first thought. If I were a student, I would do the same thing. Why I had interacted with the professors when I was a student is I was curious. Okay. The curiosity was never gone. Well, I come from a very humble background where I don't know the world. Right? I didn't know the world. Now also I don't know. So I have to talk to people who are better achievers, who are successful in their life, to learn from them, to understand what the world was. And this was one of the motivation for me to go and interact with professors, because I felt professors were quite successful in what they did. They have gone abroad or gone to higher universities, did higher degrees and so on. They came back. I could clearly see when I talked to them, they know something much better than me. Right? Yes, sir. So once you see that and you are open to the possibilities, then you go and interact with the professors. Okay. But if I come with a mind saying that, see, I already know what I want to do, and I also think and know that you cannot give that, then why would I go to you? That's the point. Right? Being curious and open is good and also a bad thing. It's good because it will give you opportunities which you never expected in your life, and you will be very surprised when such good opportunities come. Of course, there could be bad opportunities also. It's bad because you cannot have enough focus to nail a particular thing. Okay. Right. So like spreading too thin. Yeah, you're spreading too thin or something like that. Right? So I always felt in my life I was trying to spread too thin on several aspects. Right. And it's not just a one-time thing. If I trace back to what I was doing from my childhood, I mean school days, it was always happening. But there were small instances in between where I was deeply focused on stuff, and I can just count them on my hand when those were, like, it could be a project, or it could be a JEE preparation, or it could be my PhD research, or it could be some technical paper I am writing. The small stints of work where I go very deep in, right? But once I come out of that and I start thinking about general impact I am having, how I should behave, I am always spreading too thin. I am interested in every single thing. Okay. Right? That's a positive and also a negative. Right? I think the bar goes like in the first year, maybe you have to spread yourself too thin to like get to know. That was my perspective. But there were also guys, students who were very serious in the first semester itself. They knew they wanted to be professors. I know some seniors like that. Okay. And I was very inspired by them because they wrote research papers by the time they finished their third year. Okay. That is so. Very it is possible. You are academically inclined. You have that passion. You do it, right? It's like that. So that is good also in one sense, because now you are well prepared to actually take on the highest level in that track of career, right? So when you spread too thin, you can say I can do 100 things, but none of them at the highest level. So you lose the opportunities. But you will have other kind of opportunities. So when you said that a lot of students were quite some students were quite focused on what they wanted to achieve, were you I was never I was always confused, and I think I'm still confused actually. See, that is the answer. Even today, if you ask me what you want to do in life, I don't think I am that sure. Okay. Right. So I'm never sure. Okay. But to answer, to give a more practical answer to your question, so in my first year and also second year, I think I was thinking I'll go into IAS. Okay. Or something like that. So I even went to Delhi and took some coaching and all that. Okay, sir. Then later I felt like IAS is not just exams. Okay. IAS is actually administration. Yes, sir. Then am I a good administrator or a manager? How good of that can I be? So I was having some thoughts like that. I didn't have much exposure or experience in that. But in general, I felt I am relatively better at academic stuff, thinking. I'm more of a thinker, right? So I thought, okay, I have joined a degree program. Let me do the best at it and do well in the academics. By the end of it, slowly I realized that, okay, probably I should do a higher academics. Right? Okay. So that's how it transitioned. In between, I think there was also some confusion. Should I go for an MBA or placements and all the confusions were there. I was never sure I wanted to do a PhD. I knew I could be a good teacher or faculty stuff, but I was not sure. I felt that was too boring of a life. It's not financially very rewarding. So I was not very sure. So in fact, I did my master's, then did a job, then only I did a PhD to be absolutely sure. Right. So during your BTech, then you didn't really sit for placements, or did you directly choose for a master's? I didn't sit for placement. There was one opportunity to kind of sit for placement. Some call has come. I thought, okay, this is something interesting. But then I didn't go to that because later they said civil engineers are not welcome. Not welcome. They didn't shortlist the civil engineers for that. So anyway, that didn't happen. So but I didn't register myself for placements at that time, because it's a psychological thing also. Like me not registering for placements is telling myself that you have decided you want to do this. Just wait for that seriously. Right? Yeah. And then you said that initially you weren't really interested in civil when you joined for BTech, right? When you were joining BTech, I will put it like this. I would say I was more interested in mechanical or some physics oriented thing rather than civil. And I was still okay with civil because I have seen these buildings, bridges, like everybody else, and stuff going fascinating. Yeah, so I am not against civil. I was not against civil. Okay. So okay, civil also is fine, but I am more like a mechanics, physics sort of guy. And by the end of your BTech, that perspective changed, and you were more into civil. So by the end of my BTech, I because would say, you did go and pursue masters. Let me give you my personal thinking on this. Yes, sir. And this, of course, will not translate for every student, right? So my thinking was, I don't think like any other field, civil engineering is not for everybody, right? And who may like civil engineering is, firstly, if you are interested in directly giving societal impact, right? Where you want to give a tangible societal thing, that always was there with me, because I said I was interested in IAS. So some sense of you want to contribute to your society and country was always there.
You
So civil,
see the impact.
Impact was there. So in civil, I liked that aspect of civil. So what parts of civil I didn't like was, I am not very good at humanities or subjective stuff. My mind works in a more mathematical or physics, so which I have been telling a few times by this time. So that parts are relatively less in civil, compared to, for example, mechanical or electrical engineering. So that's the reason why I was not very comfortable with it. But with time, once I saw the spectrum of courses that are possible in civil, I realized that, okay, you can do everything here.
And I think in structural it is even more.
Structural is mostly like mechanical. So I was fine. So that's the reason I picked structural, right? So that sat well with me, and then I realized, okay, civil is anybody can pick civil, because you have your cup of tea in that, right? So in the end, I will not say I fell in love with civil, but I felt very comfortable with civil, that I could foresee myself being in civil for the rest of my life. And I don't feel wrong in saying that, because I already laid down the philosophical foundation that I live a life with regrets. I am choosing the path with least regret.
So civil was of least regret.
Least regret. At that point, obviously, right?
And then again, like for an MTech or a master's, how did you decide that? Like again, as you said, you were from Vizag, right, sir? So like
Vijayawada.
Vijayawada. Sorry, my bad. So you did go on, like you did. There was a very complete new exposure here in IIT Madras.
Right.
And then I think MTech, doing MTech here is a very possible option for many people. And
yes.
So why did you like choose out of it and then go to pursue a master's in like a different country?
I think it was just with the flow.
Just with the flow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think I could have potentially done an MTech here, but I was very fascinated about going abroad. So in fact, there's other things. So from my second year itself, I have always been trying for foreign internships.
Oh, okay.
I was just fascinated to go abroad.
The semester exchange programs.
None of them were there at that time. In fact, I had to fight a lot to get one foreign internship.
Okay.
At that time, if you say you wanted to do a foreign internship, it was trashed down.
Oh, okay.
There was not much support for it at that time. So I think I remember sending emails, almost about 100 emails or so, or more. First, this is during the first year summer. Right.
First year summer. Okay.
First year summer or first year third semester.
Crazy level of dedication.
Because I wanted to get an internship so that I can get a better internship in the third year.
Did you manage to get one, sir?
Like, in third year, I finally got it.
Like a foreign internship.
Yes. Oh, so, but foreign internship was not allowed. We were supposed to do an industrial internship.
Did you get one in civil, sir?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I went to Sydney.
Oh,
so that was a bit lucky, because at some right time there was an email that was sent from University of New South Wales, and luckily I could apply, and in that time span it happened. So I felt very happy that that was there. But I had to do 2 internships in the summer, because we were supposed to do the industrial internship.
Okay.
So I kind of split my summer into 2 halves exactly by requesting them, so that I did 6 weeks there, 6 weeks here.
So it was compulsory internship during that time. Like
industrial was compulsory.
We don't really have a compulsory internship right
now. Things have changed for the good.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Okay.
So at that time, foreign internship was almost. I used to think foreign internship was felt like a blasphemy at that time. When I asked about that, you said, "Why are you going abroad? You just work here." That's the thing, right? But my mind was, I have to explore, I have to figure, I want to get that experience. And I think that's very good. You have to get that experience. In fact, I will go to the extent that everybody in India should go abroad and come back.
Okay. And come back soon.
If you don't come back, that's up to you. Okay. If they let you stay, right? I don't think 1 billion population can go abroad and settle there, right?
Yes, sir.
So, but I think everybody should go. Just to develop an exposure, right? For example, if I have never seen a better movie, I would think this lighting and this setup was good. But he has seen, our cameraman and our director has seen it. So he knows for sure this is not good enough. How does he know that? Because he has seen better.
He has seen.
So you should go abroad. You should figure out there are better things and higher quality things. Come back and see, oh, this is not good. So let's change it, or let's at least try to change it. Okay. That's why going abroad is important. Not that I go there and do a project or something. Okay, fine. That project you can do here also. That is still true. We have faculty that can do great projects.
So the exploratory purposes and the gain of knowledge, that is interesting.
Perspective on things, to get a better exposure and perspective on things is why you should go abroad in the first place. Everybody in India.
And you liked your entire experience over there?
No,
masters.
You may not like.
Okay. No, about you, sir.
See, that's the thing, right? Okay. Let's put it this way. Let's say there is a kid and you want to send this kid to school, right? So what do you expect? First day they're going to school and you think they're going in flying colors and jumping and
cry about it.
They're going to cry about it. So do you think they're enjoying that process?
Not really.
Okay, but they have to go to school, right?
Yes, sir.
And in the end they will appreciate it. Every process, every new experience is like that. You go abroad, it's not like the first day you're enjoying and having fun there. Okay, first few days may be fine. Later you will have culture shock and all that. So there is a sad part, there is a surprising part. There are things you have to learn. There are things you have to get used to. Weather may not be comfortable for you and so on. Right? But over time, you are going to grasp certain things. You are going to learn how to live life in different environments. So it's going to teach you a lot of things. Right? So it's going to be a good experience finally. Going abroad is always going to be a good experience according to me. You have to get comfortable, leave your comfort zone. Right?
Okay. So yours, all in all, it was like a decent enough experience.
No, my abroad experience is crazy, I would say.
Why, sir?
Okay, let me put it this way. So first abroad experience is Sydney, right?
Yes, sir.
I landed in Sydney. We lost $40,000 or 40,000 rupees.
Like
Somebody
just
planned us.
lost. Oh, okay.
We made an online transfer for renting a flat and it was gone. Now imagine, do you think you'll ever go abroad? That is the first experience. You landed there and the first call you are doing from the place where you landed is about this.
40,000 rupees are gone.
And that's like, it's not even my money, right? Obviously parents would have paid for it. So that's the first experience abroad.
That still didn't change your perspective about a master.
No, but I had to stay there. Now that I'm there, I had to stay there for that 6 weeks was good. So overall it was a good thing. But then if you never go there, you will never experience that, right? So now you know, even if you lose 40,000, how to get back on your feet and lead your life. That's the whole point, right?
So it would have taken.
Then this is just a small experience. Like when I was in US for 9 years after my BTech. You can imagine how many such experiences would have been there. Many of them.
It would have taken a little extra convincing for the masters then. Like you got conned on your first day.
No, I think in that sense I have to appreciate my parents because my father was always like, fine, it has happened. You have learned. That is fine. So, I was not cursed. So I mean, you need support structure. Then I think it was fine. It's not that we are rich or anything. 40,000 is a big money at the time. Still, he understood the importance of that experience. Right? Now, if you lose 40,000 once, imagine today you lose 40 lakhs, let's say, or even 4 lakhs. You're going to take life very seriously. You're not going to get fooled very easily next time. You'll be double cautious, right? So that's what I have learned.
And then, like after your masters, you did shift to a industrial career.
Yeah. So this is another experience. So masters. See, since our target audience are students, right? We are basically, why are we listening to this? We want to see, is there something
relatable which we can
a better thing for my career in success in career or something like that.
Yes, sir.
In life. So I was driven by succeeding, finding good job, something that pays decently well, something that I can enjoy, live my life throughout with least regrets. That was the goal. So after masters, immediately I want to get a job.
Okay.
Because in my mind I said, practical stuff, civil stuff, civil engineering. So how do you get practical stuff? Only
not
when you
into academia.
Not into academia.
Okay.
So I had to go into industry to make sure, okay, this is how industry operates. Now that I understand it, I can decide whether I want to do industry or later PhD. Right. So, to get a job was not easy. When I went for my masters, recession. There was a US recession, economic downturn was there. So there were very few jobs. Again, I had to send lots of emails. Again, you can imagine hundreds or more. Right, so that was another learning experience.
Enough practice from
BTech I had, right? So that sending emails was never waste of time.
It was a good skill.
Good skill. See, that's the other thing, right?
Every experience
we think we are wasting time on certain things. I think it's okay. Whatever you are doing, it's going to help you later. In fact, the productive work, if you are actually doing productive work 24, let's say 24 hours of a day, let's say you're doing 12 hours of productive work, then your resilience is very low. Something happens to you, your productivity drops significantly. But let's say I'm doing productive work 3 hours a day, right? And remaining 9 hours is my buffer. That I may do it with less efficiency, I may do other things. I have very high resilience, which means something happens, I will still be able to do 3 hours per day or accumulate it over a few days, right? So this is the experience I got later on. Because initially I used to feel, okay, maybe I'm wasting too much time on this thing. Maybe you're not supposed to do it like this, right? But it's not true. I realized because I have been wasting so much time. So you look at 15 years, 2006 I joined my BTech. Since then, if you see, 20 years almost, right? I think I would have wasted more than 70% of my time. Wasted means non-productive tasks. Watching movies more than required, or chit-chatting, gossiping, daydreaming, sending emails randomly to hundreds of places, even though you don't, they may not take you. All these are useless things. You may not guarantee a tangible output from. I think I can guarantee say definitely more than 50% of time I spent on these things, right? Still I am fine.
Okay, it was worth it.
It was worth it means still I am fine. I have not failed, because that doubt I always had. I am spending this much of wasted time. Should I be doing it like this? Because you never know what is good, what is bad, right? So it's not required. So whenever you guys think we are wasting time, I think don't beat yourself up too much on that. Just make sure you're doing the minimum productive thing that is required.
Okay.
On top of that, you can do whatever you want. Now that helped me during my masters. I wrote so many emails, so many phone calls. My exploration and curiosity was always there. That is the thing that helped me. Masters also, I used to go to every placement talk to everybody, prepared business cards, prepared resume portfolios, gave it to 100 places. None of them gave me my job.
Okay.
I got a job by some online application somewhere I dropped. They replied, and finally I got that job. So I put all this effort. It didn't help me, but something still happened.
Something happened.
But would you not? So let's say I didn't do all this. I am not sure whether I'll get that or not in the end. Right? So you should still do the full thing. Right? So yeah.
And like staying there for a job and not coming back was a personal choice only again. Like you wanted to explore more, and then that's why
it was clear to me that industry job, I felt like I should do something beyond, something over challenging myself. Right? Yeah. And then that gave me a reality check. My PhD was really tough according to me. For me.
Okay.
Right.
Why the shift though, sir? Like, I mean, you did go for a job and then you got a job. And again, why did you shift?
See, I think this also has to do with my personality.
Okay.
I do things a little crazily.
Okay.
Crazily in the sense, I want to explore the unknown. Right.
Not like a pre-laid path or
so
something.
if I see a path and everything is laid well, I know for sure it's going to succeed.
You don't want to
I can imagine and see myself at the end of it already.
Okay.
In my imagination, I have already lived that life. So now I want to explore something which I have not imagined.
Okay.
So I have to take the other path.
You want something new going on at every
something uncertain, something risky. So I think this also came to me because of my mentors and professors. I remember Professor Kalyan Raman telling in my third semester course to all the students, you guys are BTech IIT students. You should take risks because you have this resources here. You are going to get a degree from BTech IIT. You are not going to fail in life, right? So you are capable of taking risks. So you should take risks. So that also helped me, I guess, to behave like this, right? So I was not backing off from any risky or interesting stuff. And that's why today, if you look at my research work and all, I am working on something called origami metamaterials and all. This is quite crazy. I mean,
like I don't think you would see that on any other profile.
In fact, you don't even see ready-made applications for it yet. But I'm fine with it because there is very interesting science to be explored there and potential high-level technologies that can be evolved from that. Right? So I'm willing to take that risk, and that gives me a high. So why I took that crazy step after my job to PhD is essentially probably one strong reason is that. Right?
Would you recommend that to your students? Like take crazy, do crazy stuff, take risks.
See, I think what we can recommend is take risks. That part, whatever I said a few minutes ago, what was told to me one of my professors is, as BTech students, see, if I cannot go to a very poor person who doesn't even have basic needs met to say go and take risk. I have to meet the basic needs first. Right? So, it depends on the context. Given that you are at the topmost institute in the country and you have a support network, you have to take risks.
Okay.
For example, one kind of risk you can take is, can you start a company? Right? You are not going to lose anything with it, but starting a company is not easy. Starting and running it, of course, right? So this is the kind of risk we are talking about. Can you explore innovative topics? Can you start companies? Thinking unconventionally. Your regular job you're going to get later anyway, right? If you really want that. So advice would be take risks. But whether you will do crazy things or how you will do it, depends on your personality. It's not for everyone.
Okay. Then again, your PhD, that was like an entire segment of your life. That was...
Yes, PhD was very crazy because I was hell-bent on doing something that was very challenging.
Okay.
Because I wanted to see the limit of where I'll break.
What was your thesis topic, sir?
So my PhD thesis topic was titled Towards Electronic Structure Calculations at Exascale. Okay. What it means is you are doing...
You have to explain it, sir.
So what you are actually doing there is computational quantum mechanics calculations using parallel computing. Is this better than the previous one?
No, sir. It isn't.
Okay. So you're essentially doing quantum mechanics calculation using many computers.
Okay.
That's simpler.
A little simpler, but still okay. It doesn't sink in.
So it was. I mean, I think that was the best experience, technical experience I had in my life.
Is that actually related to civil science?
That's a very good question. So, see, everything is finally made of atoms. I want to study the strength of a metal. Atoms have to break their bond. How do you break bond? How do you simulate breaking of bonds?
And excess energy.
Energies. Good. So you understand. So you have to talk about some energy, right?
Yes, sir.
Energy comes from some equation, quantum mechanics.
Okay.
So you have to simulate those equations. You have to see the atoms as they move, how the energy between them changes, and then that gives you a sense of what is the strength of the metal. Strength means you have this stress strain curve.
Yes, sir.
So and then the curve suddenly becomes
finally something I understand. Yes,
right. So where does that horizontal point, the yield strength comes, right? So that you can simulate from atomic scale. Okay. So just to, if you are really curious, technically speaking, you have a metal plate. You do a test. You do this stress strain curve. You have some strength at some point. Beyond certain point, you have your yielding, right? Yes, sir. Let's say I go to the atomic scale. I don't do the metal plate. I'll go zoom in, and go to the atomic scale. You know there is something called crystal structure, FCC, BCC, lattice. Yes, sir. At the lattice level, if I imagine doing this tensile test, that I have to do through simulations, quantum mechanics or atomistic simulations or something. You will find that your strength is 1000 times higher than this. Okay. So something is wrong between atomic scale versus your plate, right? Okay. 1000 times higher you can get from atoms. 1000 times higher strength. Imagine everything will be 1000 times smaller, thickness wise and all that, if you are able to achieve that strength. So that is like a fundamental science study where you are trying to study. It's difficult to wrap my head around that fact, sir. Yeah, that's good. 1000 times. Reality is you have defects. What are defects? Right. From atomic level, as you keep putting them together, there are what are called defects, and they start dictating your strength rather than the atomic bond. Right. So that's the reason you lose that factor 1000. But then this at least scientifically tells you that you can get 1000 times higher strength. Right. Now you know the potential you can potentially reach. Potential if you don't have, if you can make things without defects, or find a way to somehow minimize the effect of this defect, you can scale it up. Maybe make new materials. Maybe 500 years from now they'll make it. Who knows? Right. So that's the idea. You laid the groundwork for it. I won't say I laid the groundwork for it, but that's the impact potentially that kind of work can have. What I did is, how do you simulate those atoms? If I have 1000 atoms together, you cannot solve quantum mechanics equations easily. Is there a framework to apply it on multiple computers and solve it within reasonable time? This is what my PhD was on. Okay. Right. And so it was challenging enough, very good experience. But I just realized, if I want to go back to India and do it in civil engineering department, not possible. I mean, like, practical, tangible, none of these words are in sync with this. Okay. So I thought, okay, let me just slightly refocus. Then I saw something called metamaterial logic and folding structures and all that. Made sense. So let's do that. And then now I'm slowly transitioning that work into structural engineering, if possible, and maybe civil engineering applications later on. So PhD done, postdoc then, and then you were back to IIT Madras again as an assistant professor. So how did you feel about working along with your professors again? Oh, it was very exciting actually. Yeah. In fact, was it like, were they welcoming? Was it like a little like, oh, my student is? No, I think it was amazing. I should say this is amazing. Because probably because of the rapport I had and the connection I had with our department, right? So I have very high respect to all the faculty in our department and of course the institute. So, and I am emotionally connected to our institute. This is like my home, right? So it's like, if I say I give you a job, you just have to stay at home and you get paid and do whatever you want. That's what I'm doing. So I feel like it's very nice experience. Of course, it could be a different experience if I were at some other IIT or something. But here I have that emotional connection. You have the bond from that bond is there. So whenever I contribute, I feel good about it, right? And whenever I interact with the faculty and senior professors who taught me and all, I feel some sort of positive energy and connection. So. Do you remember your first class which you taught here? Oh, first class, mechanics of materials. Yeah, that was your mechanics of materials only. Okay. How was the experience? How were the students? See, did you see yourself like, oh my god, was I like this back in my BTech? No. I will tell you. I'll tell you, the first class experience was very crazy actually. Crazy for me because I used to think everybody wants to get S grade. Okay.
No, sir.
No.
No.
So it was a hard lesson for me. No, see, it's not no actually. See, let me put it this way. If I go out and ask some random person, do you want to be a billionaire? Would the answer be yes or no?
Yes.
This is same as that according to me.
Okay.
So if I pick a random student and say, do you want an S grade in this course or not? They will say yes. So where is the problem in this argument? The argument problem is that yes, I want it, but I do not want to put the effort. If it comes for free, I will take it. That part was not clear in my mind. It was not imprinted in my mind.
Okay.
I just missed that step in my mind. So I just took it for granted. Yes, you want S grades. I understand.
Work for it.
But I never asked that question, will you work for it?
Okay.
In my mind, I was thinking, yeah, naturally, if I want something, I have to work for it. That was my thinking. But I realized later that, no, they don't want to work for it. Which I understood later, okay, that makes sense. Okay. Why I should put that much effort? See, for example, even if somebody comes and say, I want to be a billionaire, and if I have to put that much effort, I will not do it. Maybe I'll be happy with putting 20% of that effort and getting 50% of that billion. Right? So you have to optimize effort versus benefit. So that's what everybody is playing with, and they're, for much lesser effort, instead of getting S, if I get B, I might be happier. I can do so many other things in that time, right? So this realization came in my first semester. Okay. So from the next semester, everything was fine.
Yeah. And did you see any like potential people who you could see them going to an academic career like in the first class itself? Like, I mean, when you were a student, you would have been projecting a vibe, right? Like, yeah, this is what I'm interested in.
But the thing is, if you look at my career path, what I have shown, at any point, if you cut a section, like since I'm a structural engineer, I cut sections in beams, right? So cut a section in time. And if you ask my personality whether this guy will become a professor or not, you would not be sure. Okay. Right? So after masters I was in a job, after PhD I did something crazy and so I myself was not sure. So how can I look at somebody in a second year thing and be sure that they'll be a professor? I mean, you can never say. So there will be certain aspects of you which could be useful and helpful for you if you want to become a professor, but it's not guaranteed that you will become a professor. There's a long way from here to there. Okay. Right. And any crazy experiences you like had during this entire time when you were a professor? Like this student, this time, something he did. Okay. Any interesting experiences? I think there are so many. Now what I realized is the top ones. Like you were just awestruck. Like how can this happen? Like how could this happen? Yeah. The top one too. No, the problem now is I stopped remembering things. Okay. Because I felt like there's too much burden on me. Okay. In fact, maybe it's because of the age. I hope I'm not too old, but for this, but I feel like my memory was better much earlier. I mean, 10-15 years back, it was much better. Today, maybe because of lack of interest or my memory is not that good, I am not remembering so many things. Okay. I just have a feeling about this thing. Like for example, I can say, yeah, there have been so many crazy things with students, right? Good things as well as bad things. So for example, I'll just give you a summarized sort of thing instead of going into a specific thing, right? Okay, sir. So what we think is when you look at a professor, or when I looked at a professor, I used to think, professor is like God. God means they should be able to do anything, right? So anything means generally if the student has a problem or struggling with something, I should be able to approach or if I am a professor, I should be able to help them, and they should be able to feel that I should be able to help, right? So I think one key experience I should remember in my last 6 years I've been here is professors are not gods. At least I am not God. Okay. Maybe others are. Maybe some of them, I don't know. So I am definitely not God. So once you realize you are not God, your life becomes much happier. Random problems are not entertained. Okay. Not just that. If you are God, you have to deal with so many issues. Okay. Right? If you are not God, you don't have to deal with anything. Let it go by. Yeah, I am not God, right? I don't know how to run this world. Yes, sir. So I will do what I want, what I can do. That's the thing. So if a student is not able to perform well or the student is struggling with something, initially I used to be too attached to certain things and say, oh, let me help it that way, this way. It doesn't work because I am not God. Okay. Right. I was thinking I was a God. I mean, I was not actually thinking I was a God, but I thought, I at least I should be able to help. It's just that, no, you cannot. You have limitations. You are just a normal chap out there. Don't think just because you are working as a faculty here, I mean, I should not tell myself that, oh, I can do anything. No, obviously not. Once I realized that has changed my perspective on how to deal with students. Right. Okay. So that is one thing. Second thing is that grades business. Not everybody is interested in that. Right.
I think some stories I've heard from your classes are the lattice structures course.
Oh, it's a PG course, right?
No,
so PG course have very few students.
Some UG students.
Oh, yeah, true, yeah.
So, like I've just heard stories about the presentations which they give or your feedback, and it's like it's so damn entertaining.
Okay, so I have one. Okay, so one thing about me is when I see something very bad, I cannot hide my criticism. Emotions. Okay. I cannot hide my criticism unless I am told beforehand that, sir, please hide your criticism. We don't care about your criticism. Okay. If I have that disclaimer, I'll hold myself. But if I am there to give criticism and if I see something bad, it's just going to come out. Okay. This especially matters on presentations. Okay. Right. I was not that great of a presenter in my BTech, but I was good enough. Okay. Right. Not bad. I used to be happy to give presentations. I used to have a sense of feeling that people enjoy some of these presentations. I was not that great. Over time, I have seen so many presentations, learned from some nice people and all that, and I have picked good qualities of how to present a thing well. And this, I think, is a fundamental aspect of good teaching also. Okay, to be able to present. To be able to present any, we're talking about technical stuff, right? So there's a technical thing, you want to present it, and what's the purpose of presentation? For your audience to understand and enjoy it, enjoy or reflect on it or whatever, do some post processing on it. So if you don't meet that objective, there's no point of presenting. So this is the metric in my mind whenever I am seeing any presentations or whenever I am giving the presentations, right? So if the students present something, first question I ask is, if you tell this to your friend, will they understand? Right? Most of the time the answer will be no. The answer will be yes, but the real answer will be no. Because if they really present to their friend, the friend also won't understand. Right? Both of them are equally so then I ask, see, if you are, imagine if I present things to you like this in the class, will you be happy with it? No. So you are not conveying something that your friend understands. You are not happy if I present it to you like that, but you want to present it like that. Okay. So from this you can raise your bar a little bit. Okay. A lot of fun can evolve from this. Of course. And then, like, do you see any disparity between UG and PG students, sir? Like, I feel, I mean, personal opinion, like when you walk into a PG class, it's like the PG students are a little more focused upon because they've kind of chosen civil as their go-to career or academic path. Right. But then that's not the same for UG people. It's like professors kind of view us in a way that, okay, these guys are going to go. So let's just, skip these people, go to the PG people. So what is your take on that? So, see, I think in this case, what happens is, since I am anyway, especially if you're talking about PG courses, right? That's my course is on lattice structures and metamaterials. Okay, sir. Lattice structures and metamaterials is not a core structural engineering course. Yes, sir. It's a quite generic thing. It has applications in other fields also. So whoever is sitting in that class, I am never going to see, okay, are you going to become a civil engineer or structural engineer or anything. All I am looking at is, you have come here, you're going to sit for 1 year, and I have to make sure that time is well spent. In fact, this example I give to UG students also. Imagine you want to go to a movie, right? And by mistake you went and sat in a different theater. Okay. Right? That is some movie which you don't like. Right? Okay. But you have to sit for 1 hour. Let's say that's a 1 hour movie. Now, if the movie is good enough and you have to sit there, let's say, if the movie is good enough, you won't regret it. Okay. You will at least feel, okay, fine, I have had some fun. Okay. That is how I look at teaching. Elective courses. Not just elective courses, even the core courses. Okay. Since I have more than 50% of the class who may not be motivated to sit there. Elective courses are easier, relatively, because they are coming because they are interested. Yes, it's much more straightforward. In core courses especially, more than 50 or 60% students are not motivated. They may be good, smart. They are not motivated. They don't know why we are sitting here. Why are you making me go through this? That part is not clear, right? So that's the same analogy as you go and sit in a different theater, some movie suddenly came. You are expecting some Bahubali or something, but something nasty came, right? But if that movie is funny enough, you don't mind sitting for one funny or entertaining enough for a movie. For a lecture means, so why am I sitting in a lecture? I should learn something that I have never expected. It should give me some high. Right? That's the thing you are looking at. I don't want to learn trivial stuff, which I feel like, okay, why am I learning this? I could have figured it out myself. Right? So as long as some interesting aspect is there, that should be fine. So that is the focus I keep in my mind when I am teaching. So how do you deal with uninterested students, sir? Because I'm pretty sure like in every class there are a couple of them. I try to make my teaching as interesting as possible from my point of view, right? So, every director has a limitation. So every teacher also has a limitation. Within my limitation, I try to do the best. But I keep thinking more and more on this. There are better ways to do things.
Okay.
Right. So maybe in the 10 years from now, if you ask this question, maybe I'll have a better answer to it. Right. For example, let's say I keep giving these analogies to movies because I used to watch a lot of movies. Now also I watch, but I don't have much time. Right? During my BTech, I used to watch at least one movie per day. At least. Okay. So let's say I am a person who likes comedy movies. Do you think I will not watch horror?
You would. Like, you would explore.
You would explore. Or tragedies. So many. So you watch everything. Maybe one of it you like more. So I'll apply the same thing for the unmotivated learner.
Okay.
Unmotivated learner means you are sitting in the class, but you are not motivated. But everybody that joined a degree program is interested in learning something. That's why you are a student first of all. Otherwise, you would not even have cracked the JEE, right? It's only that this thing you are not sure whether you are interested or not, right? So if I apply this concept, okay, you may say you like comedy movies, but not that you won't watch horror, right? So imagine this is a horror movie. You will watch it if it's good enough. I just have to make sure that it's good enough. That's my role.
Okay.
So
just focus on your subject and make it as interesting and like investing with you as possible.
Right. So every step of teaching has to make sure you are motivating them. Right. So if I have to pay attention to the next 5 minutes, I have to make sure either they are getting a high feeling on that, or they are making sure they are using. So if they pay attention for this 5 minutes, they will get 5 marks in the quiz.
Okay.
Not that I will give 5 marks, but that concept is going to be so critical that if you pay attention for 5 minutes, you save 5 hours later.
Okay.
So something like that. But it's a very hard job. I try to do my best.
Okay.
So in the future, I hope maybe this Gen AI and all these things will help us. Right? I can have some robots and other tools in the class.
Make it even more interesting.
We can make it more interesting, and maybe in the class itself we have to solve more challenging problems. Things are trivial, then only it's boring. Right? By the end of the class, let's say I say we will design a suspension bridge, real suspension bridge.
Okay, people would be involved more in that.
Yes. And imagine the skills you learned while designing the suspension bridge can be used to design rockets or maybe a computer. If I say that 50% of the skills are transferable, then everybody will take this also. They will not say, oh, I want to go and do only AI. They won't say that. So the way of teaching also has to be such that the skills you are gaining here are transferable. So I will go and say later, I have gained so many skills in my BTech. 50% are general skills which are transferable. 20% are specific to civil, 20% specific to some electricals, 20% specific to something.
So it's like an interdisciplinary thing. Right. Like whatever skills you want to pick, you pick.
Yes, at BTech level you have enough assortment, and every course I teach, future courses should be such that this transferable skills are there significantly. So the way you think.
So there is this curriculum change which is going on currently.
Yeah, that will have some part of this. But what I am saying should probably take another 10-15 years.
Okay.
If it comes into teaching. Yeah.
And then what do you feel about many, I think 80-90% of the civil students not continuing in civil and drifting off to different fields?
I will also do the same thing.
Okay.
So for example, today if somebody comes and pays me 5 crore per annum,
you'd go.
Yeah, I'll go. Why should I not go?
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Okay, sir.
So I strongly believe market drives the thing. And of course, if you say you will pay 5 crore per annum and I have to become a godfather or something, I will not do that. Mafia. Right. So if it is something that I can do and I will enjoy, and you pay higher,
I wouldn't mind going.
I won't mind going.
Okay.
So I am open in that sense. And of course, it should be legal also, right? So and I think what everybody is doing is fine.
Okay. So it's like whatever interests you, whatever pays you well, whatever you're comfortable with, just go with it. There's no problem with that.
The only thing I have to ensure being a faculty at IIT Madras in civil engineering is I have given you enough information in civil engineering during your BTech that later on you explore your life in the next few years and you want to change course, maybe do something related to civil, you have the foundation here.
Okay.
But just because next 2 years you go and do something crazy doesn't mean you are not a civil engineer anymore. That foundation has been laid, should be laid properly.
It's still there.
Right. So maybe you will come up with a new field. Civil engineering is just terms of humanity has put. Finally, it's all about there are problems, there is science, there is some engineering to be done, deliver it to society. This is how you have to look at it. Then why are you saying you should be in civil, mechanical, all that doesn't matter.
And then how do you what do you expect from students who come to you for like let's say a project or a course? Like, do you want them to be a little aware of the topic or complete beginners?
Already this time some students have come previous time also. Okay. There are some common statements I give. Because of that, mostly second time they don't come to me.
Okay.
So the common statements are, firstly, are you willing to fail in life?
Okay.
If you are not willing
that
to
is
fail
a scary enough question.
that is scary enough question.
Yes.
No, I am not asking that question anymore.
Okay.
I used to ask this question a lot in the first few years.
Then stop.
Nobody was coming. Then I realized maybe I should not ask that question.
Okay.
Right. So, are you willing to fail in life? If you are not willing to fail, you are not going to do anything great. So that is my philosophy. Okay. See, when will you do anything great?
When you
are aiming for
when
something.
You risk failing.
Yeah, when you have to risk failing, it should be something big. If it is something trivial, you will never fail. That's not going to be big anyway. That's the whole point. Okay. So I want you to do big things. Therefore, I want you to be ready to fail. Right. And I also tell them, I want you to be ready to jump into the ocean without knowing swimming.
And you don't mind them failing also. Like, let's say they did take
you
up the
have
project.
To fail. No, in fact, why I am asking this question is not just for psychological thing. My project will be such that in the first few months you will feel like you have failed. Why did I start the project with this guy? Okay. Right. Then the main project starts once you reach that stage, and then you realize, now let me figure out how to do this. Okay. What is the thing that I can do? What cannot be done? How do I do it in the next 6 months? Right. Then I think something interesting will come out of it. Otherwise, it's just a routine project. I don't want to waste my. See, I am very lazy in that sense. I don't want to do routine projects. Okay. You do it by yourself. You do. I don't need. You don't need me. Okay. If you need me, that means you want to do something crazy, something big. Something out of the ordinary. Yeah. Most likely it will fail. But that is fine. Failing at big thing is better than succeeding at a small thing and saying that you have succeeded. Okay. For me, working with me, this is just for me. Okay, right? Okay. And this may not be a right approach. But my mind is tuned like that. So I'll be the best advisor if you are doing something like that. So origami, meta materials and concrete. Origami. So for example, I work on so many things. 3D printing, yes, structural engineering concepts, optimization, origami, meta materials. So now the Gen AI also I have floated, right? So this is time for BTP, I have floated the Gen AI for structural design. Oh, okay. Right. So yeah, because I think for the students who came to me, I told them, this Avengers movie, there's something called Jarvis. Yes, sir. This guy, Iron Man guy, right? Yes, sir. So I want a Jarvis for structural design. Okay. So that thing should be there beside me. So I'll keep asking. So I can do something beyond just, browsing through the pages of the code or something. Okay. And it is not just for structural design. This can be done for throughout education. And this is an actual BTP which is going on currently? No, it will start. Okay, it will start. And they should be willing to put in a lot of effort. Okay. And if they don't want to put the effort also, it's okay. But it will be a mediocre thing. And I will not be helping them. If I see them putting a lot of effort, I'll put double the effort to help them. Where do you see yourself in the next 4, 5, 10 years, sir? Yeah, that's a very hard question. Unfortunately, when we give our career presentations and all, we have to tell this. Right? Even for your jobs and all. Yes, sir. What will you do 5 years from now, 10 years from now? And you have to say, I'm going to solve world hunger and all that. Yes, sir. We do, but then. So honest answer is, I don't know. Fake answer, I can give anything, but it's pointless. ChatGPT, what do you think I should do 5 years later? So I have no clue, because 10 years back, if you asked me what I would be doing today, I would have said something else. Right? Now that I know that is not going to work like that, what's the point of telling what I will be doing 10 years from now? All I can say is, I want to do something big. I want to do something big. I am not saying I will do something big. I want to do. So I will be in the process of figuring that out, doing challenging things or doing crazy stuff or trying to do big things. 99.99 or almost 100%, it won't work out, which is fine. That is the process I'll be in. And then you kept telling that you watched this movie, that movie. So you are a movie buff, right? Like, so it is. Okay. So I used to think I was a movie buff. Okay. Unfortunately, I am. Or fortunately, I am not. So I realized that movie buff is a person who watches a lot of movies and are also knowledgeable of the movies. Okay. I watch a lot of movies, but if you grade me on the movies, I'll get the last grade. So is it because I'll not remember anything. So if I watch a movie today, 6 months from now you come and play that movie, I'll watch it afresh. Okay. Maybe later after you start a film, I'll say, I think I'm going to watch this, but I'll still continue watching it. Okay. So for some reason, I don't store everything in my mind. I just see the movie for the entertainment. It's gone. And is it like limited to a particular language like Telugu, or is it like anything? No, Telugu is the most. For English also I watch. T5 Banisa, sir. Hindi and all. Hindi I don't watch much. Okay. But I did watch a lot of movies in Hindi, but not much. Tamil also same thing. Okay. Because I primarily watch Telugu movies or English. Did you manage to learn Tamil, sir? No, so I think that is another limitation I have. Okay. Coupled with my laziness. So if something is really required, I'll put the effort to learn. it seems like we don't have to learn Tamil here.
No, sir, not really.
But I have to learn. I'm staying outside, right?
Oh, okay.
I stay outside the campus, but still I'm kind of managing with a few words, broken, very bad Tamil, right? So I am very bad at learning languages. Even in my school days, my language was just okay, not bad, but language skills are not good. So if I have to learn language, I have to put double the effort.
Okay.
So unless there is really a requirement, you throw me in some crazy country where I have to survive, then only I learn the language. Otherwise, I will not learn.
Okay.
Right.
Finally, any advice you would want to give the viewers, sir? Like, as you said, we are
generally-
representing UG India, so civil.
Yeah, actually, maybe I thought there is no generic advice I want to give, but since you mentioned UG India and all, I think it is worth mentioning this. See, I used to be, maybe I am still very patriotic, very religious, and all that. Those are very strong emotions, and which run very high when we are students, UG students, and all that. Right? So that's where you can intensify it even more. If they are already strong, you can intensify it even more. So what I would say is, if we are all Indians, right, and we say India has to be a global leader, how would anybody become a leader? By following or leading? By leading, obvious, right?
Yes, sir.
So how would you lead something? You have to take the first step.
By learning.
No, not learning. You have to lead means you have to take the first step into the unknown.
Okay.
You have to be a leader somewhere means you have to take the first step into the unknown. If it is a laid down path, it's not leader, it's just follower. Right. So my advice to the UG is, think for yourself how many times you are going to take your path or take a step towards the unknown path. Are we aiming high? Are we taking risks? If you are not aiming high, you are not going to be a global leader. You will be a local leader probably. If you take risk, you will be a leader. But if you are not aiming high enough, you will not be. It's a competition, right? High means what is a relative thing. Global level, you want to be the leader means you have to aim very high. So if US wants to go to Mars, where would you go?
Saturn.
Right. So aim higher. Aim higher, take risks. That's my advice for UG students of India.
Okay. I think with that we come to the end of our podcast.
Yeah,
it was very entertaining and a very fun-filled and energy-filled.
I hope
podcast.
So. I would generally not watch very long videos. I think they are very boring. I hope this is not. I mean, anyway, it's not my movie. So if it's boring, not my mistake.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.